Hello and welcome to Vapor. On today's show, we will be reviewing the Voopoo PNP Pod Tank. Now the PNP Pod Tank comes in black and stainless steel. I have the stainless steel version. So let's open up the box and dive right in. So inside the box, open it up. It's got this nice little drawstring. And you have an instruction manual written in multiple languages that gives you a very comprehensive breakdown of how to disassemble and reassemble the pod. You also have two coils that come with the kit. Got a 0.3 mesh coil and a 0.15 mesh coil. Both of these coils are direct lung coils. And then of course, you have the star of the show, the PNP Pod Tank itself. Now the PNP Pod Tank, when you measure it out at the base, is 24.5 millimeter. And then around the outside of the tank is 26.5 millimeter. The tank itself holds 4.5 mLs of juice and is not made from mechanical mods. I can show you why. Right here, the gold-plated 510 pin does not extend past the base of the threads. Mechanical pods need the 510 to extend past the base, so this is not compatible with any mechanical mods. The pod itself, when you measure it from the base to the top of the drip tip, is 42 millimeters high. And drip tip is not removable. It is part of the tank. And it's also a proprietary size because when you measure it, it comes in at 13 millimeter, which is neither an 810 or a 510. It falls somewhere in between. So just remember that. It has adjustable airflow, which is really nice for a pod. And also, it's magnetic. So if you have more than one of these with different flavors, it's like say you have 2 or 3 of them and you get bored of a flavor and it's sitting top your RDA or your mod, you can just pop it off, grab the other flavor, pop it on. It's like a 2-second swap. Super awesome idea. Really, really cool idea. Voopoo did an excellent job with that. Here's up close of the pod. Here's that airflow I was talking about. You can see how it opens up wide. You can shut all the way down. It doesn't have a lock on it, so you can spin it all the way around. It just will spin right there. It'd be nice if they had some sort of stopping mechanism, or it'd be nice if you could shut off just one side of it instead of having both sides open. But it's got really nice knurling right here for a grip, so your fingers get real good purchase on it, even if they were damp. And this tank is made of a real nice, thick, solid plastic. So even if you drop it on the ground, I do not think it would break unless you just decided to smack it on the ground on purpose. So I know what you're thinking. How's this going to look on one of my mods? Well, I have a mod right here. This particular mod is basically built to hold 22 millimeter pods. So it might be a little bit big for it, but let's just give her a try and see how she looks. It's got a little bit of overhang. I mean, nothing major. I wouldn't call it a deal breaker. And actually, even on this mod, it doesn't look oversized or out of place. I'd say a little bit larger mod, maybe. One that can hold like 24 or 25 millimeter would probably look better. But I wouldn't say this is a deal breaker. It still looks nice. So this is one of the PNP coils it comes with. As you can see printed on it, it has the resistance, 0.15 ohms, as well as the recommended wattage for it. So If you don't have a smart mod where it has the built-in where it can tell the resistance and the correct wattage for it, you don't need it. It already simplified it for you so you know what to start with when you plug it in. So next I'm going to show you some common coils. Next to it on the far right is the Voopoo PNP, like I showed you. In the middle we have the Wismec coil, and we also on the left have the Smoke RPM coil. So you can see just by the shape of them and by where the grommets are for them that they would not be compatible with this device. But that said, I have good news for you as far as the coils that are available for it come in 14 different styles. So you might be asking yourself, what kind of coils can I use with this device? Well, it actually uses 14 different coils. The first coil it uses is an RBA single coil, which is one you can build yourself. That uses you can build it anywhere from a 0.25 to a 2 ohm resistance. You also, if you want to have a restricted draw to it, a mouth to lung type of draw, there's 4 different coils for that, coming in at 1.2, 1.0, and 1.8. 2 of the 1.2s are a mesh and a ceramic coil, and they come in at 10 to 15 watts. The dual coil comes in at 10 to 15 watts as well, but the 0.8 comes in at 12 to 18 watts. For someone that wants more of a restricted direct lung type of hit, there's 3 coils for that. They're all mesh coils coming in at 0.8, 0.6, and 0.3 ohms of resistance, and the wattages vary from 12 to 18, 20 to 25, and 20 to 28 watts. And these, the mouth-to-lung and the restricted direct lung coils will fit in most of your pod devices, so you won't have to worry about some ridiculous amount of wattage draw coming from your device. But if you're looking for more of a direct lung type of hit, they make 6 coils for that as well. They have the 0.6 single coil bringing in 20 to 28 watts, the 0.45 mesh coil at 25 to 35 watts, another 0.45, but it's a single coil bringing in 28 to 35 watts, a 0.3 mesh coil coming in at 32 to 40 watts, a 0.2 mesh coil coming at 40 to 60 watts, and the big dog, the 0.15 mesh coil coming in at 60 to 80 watts. So they have 14 different coils that you can choose from with just this one device. That is pretty impressive, Voopoo. So let's put this thing together and then see what she can do. Now, normally with one of these, you'd have to unscrew it from the base of the mod just to get to it. But with this one, with the magnets, it is super, super easy. You just take it like this, take your coil, and you don't even have to line it up in any particular fashion. You just give it a little press, and that's it. Plug and play. So, right next to this, you have this little rubber gasket. You just pull it open like that, and that is to fill your juice reservoir. So that's what we'll do next. So, we just open up like that. Take a little watermelon flavored juice, stick her in right there, give her a good old squeeze like so, like that. Close it up nice and tight, like so. Put her back in, just like that, and it's done. And as you can see, little bubbles going up. That coil is priming itself. So I'll get back to you after it's primed up in about 5 to 10 minutes. See you then. So your next question is going to be, how does it vape? Well, this particular coil is the 0.15 mesh coil, and it recommends 60 to 80 watts. But I don't always trust what the manufacturer says, so I always start on a lower wattage. So I'll be starting at 45 watts just to play it safe. Well, let's see how she does. Pretty good. Nice cool vape. Let's take up to 50 watts, which is still lower than what they recommend, but 50 watts. See how that does. 50 watts feels pretty good too. All right, let's take our step up. 55 watts. 55 watts and see how she tastes. It's starting to get warm. I don't particularly like a warm vape. So 55 would probably be the limit for me. Even though it says 60 to 80, 55 would be a limit. I think I'm going to back it back down to 50. And this thing hits right away. Like, it heats up almost immediately. You can purge it if you want to. I'll show you purging it. But you almost don't have to with this because it just immediately heats up. So let's try it with a purge and see how we do. Oh yeah, with the purge, you get a lot more flavor. You definitely get a strong taste of watermelon. So I actually recommend, if you're going for flavor, actually doing the purge. And about 50 watts, that's about dead on, I would say. I know it says 60 to 80, but you can't always trust what you read, and that's why we have these reviews, to give you the honest truth. 50 watts is pretty good for a cool vape. 55 warm, and I'd say probably 60, which they say is their bottom end. That'd probably be the top end, because that's going to be a hot vape already. So there you go. And that's it for the Voopoo PNP Pod Tank. What are my thoughts on it? I think for the price point is really, really worth the value. I highly recommend getting yourself one of these. It is pretty awesome. The flavor is intense. It's nice and clean. The airflow is super, super smooth. So yeah, you're definitely going to enjoy these. So go and pick yourself up one of these today. And that's it for me. So if you like this video, click like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
We seem to be experimenting some technological differences